What is going on? I'm Zedmont. This is the sneak peek you have all been waiting for. No, not the Boom Pass, but Warships Season 67. We are on the dev build. You can tell because code Zedmont does not work in the shop, but we've got 1,000,000 diamonds and all sorts of early access goodness. Now, Season 67 is full on ridiculous. Just absolute insanity. We are going to click on the heavy weather title and get into the monologue. Greetings, Commander. There has recently been grumbling from the heavies that they have been sidelined in these naval missions. Yeah, heavy's been a bit late in the tree. Thus, we have decided to put them front and center to let them show what they can really do. AKA, you guessed it, heavy rushing, I assume. Let's jump in. I told you there's some crazy stuff happening. When you first look at it, you're like, nothing too crazy here. The return of the negative nodes, which now cost 2 keys. That one right there costs 2 anyways. Moving down the line, do we have any other negative nodes? No. So just 1 negative node, and only Zukas are behind it. So are you going to give up 12 mines just to get Zukas when you can come back? I don't think so. That is the node that is really, really interesting. That one is well thought out, though, because obviously with heavies, Heavy Zuka is a great, great combo, but I don't think you're going to be willing to pay 12 mines, 2 machine guns, or 2 cannons to get there. Maybe you are. You could probably get gold on day 1 just with Heavy Zuka at the 3 engine room level, but maybe not. Really hard to say from this vacuum, which is me in the middle of nowhere. Gunboat. Obviously, you're going to upgrade that. Not at all, because there's nothing to use your gunboat energy on. We've got machine guns, we've got green mines, we've got cannons, and there is an extra boost node, which is going to give you 40% gunboat energy. No one's going to pick that out of the gate, but building damage or troop health, we're going to go with building damage just to get some of that tech so we can get through that level gate. We're going to max out our mines, and we are going to run out of things to spend here in a second. So I am just going to go back and twiddle some knobs behind the scenes. And just like that, we've got all the tech level we could ever need, and all the keys, and all the upgrade tokens. Now, you're saying to yourself, Zed, you said this season's crazy. I don't see anything crazy yet. We'll get there, I promise. We're coming very, very soon here. So, same kind of detail. You're going to get 4 machine guns. You're going to get 4 cannons, or tick 4 and tick 4, just to get your levels up, just to get the defenses. And then we're going to move forward. There is your next engine room decking. You've probably seen something like this before. There's going to be some engine rooms spread out, something like that, I would guess, trying to get your troops going far and wide. And notice that flares are right there. Neat. This is the first time I can recall where there's been 3 different ways to get into an engine room level. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But the fact that we can go up through the top with flares, down through the bottom with medkits, or straight through after warriors, I like it a lot. Getting boom mines unlocked, and now we start to get into some interesting things. That boost node, not really required, but if you're rocking warriors, maybe you want to just push through and use those. I kind of wish there was a heavy boost there just to make it extra fun, but we're going to go down through rifles. Rifles going to be a lot of fun with some smoke, and again, more GBE. Like, this is a lot of GBE with nothing to use it on. We're going to grab it just because that's the worst choice. Through some building damage, up to the top to get some troop damage. Now, I kind of assume most people are going to go up the top, but those rifles are very, very, very appealing in that slot. So, keeping on moving into that 4 engine room level, and still, you're saying, Zed, you said this is crazy. So far, this is pretty tame. It's coming, my friends. I don't know if this is intentional, but they're waiting a couple days, letting it stew, and then we get into shock mines. And shock mines are going to be interesting, but there's going to be some things that are going to slow shock mines down. I'll show you that in a second. There's your brick heavy rush. Maybe you want to go get brick and some troop health and the flares and just heavy rush your pants off, I'm going to be skipping brick this season. Nonetheless, through those things. And now, here's the deal. Your critters are going to be, you're going to get 12 of them. That's pretty darn great compared to the crystal clitters where you're only going to get 9. Or the explosive drones, which, let's be honest, are a complete and utter waste of time. So if you want to do some healing, maybe you'll get the clitters, and otherwise, if you can't find them, you're just going to go straight for the blue critters, which I'm going to do into the flamethrowers. So far, there's nothing really that stops heavies, I don't think. Lots of cannons, but not a ton. Cannons and boom mines. There's going to be some interesting maps, interesting layouts into flamethrowers, which should start to slow things down. Bullet is backwards. Bullet will be quite interesting for the Seeker players. We're still tame. I know, I promised it was going to get interesting. This is not me. This is just how the tech tree is working. It is gradually stewing. There is crazy stuff coming. I promise. Boom cannons, not the crazy things. Up the top there, though, that is going to be the Seeker player's dream. You can go through the top, get those Seekers, and get heavy choppas right behind them. You probably don't have flares, though, but heavy choppas could be useful if people start backfilling about there to go get those 20 key flares, perhaps. But this is where things start to get crazy. Check out what is down below. Down about here, we've got one prototype. So for people who want to stop Seekers, we've got boom cannons, we've got shock launchers, we've got hot pots, we've got rocket launchers, and there are no shock bombs anywhere in sight. So all of a sudden, there's going to be two diverging factions here. We've got the Seeker players going up. Why are we using red? This is not the crazy part, by the way. This is just this facts. We've got Seeker players going up. We've got non-Seeker players going down. The Nightwada defensive style players going down. The offensive players going up. Neat little trick there. We've got our second hero, third hero, I should say, fourth hero, and no Rudy anywhere to be seen. So Rudy has come in and out more than... I'm not going to finish that sentence, but this is where things start to get crazy. Some more shock mines? Sure. Some GBE? Nobody cares. Into our Seeker boost, that's going to be very interesting, but prototype defenses. Here comes the Flotsam. There comes the shock bomb. Here comes the cryo bomb. This is when things are going to start getting intense. Cryo bombs with Seekers and heavy choppas and bullet. Very, very interesting. Barrage, don't really care. These little bits down here where you go down and get rocket choppas or bombardiers again, just depends on your play style. Right about now, the Kavan players are going to get bombardiers, and that's going to bore them to sleep. So they're going to get into that 7 engine room, and this is where the craziness is. Please, if you are at a level where you're headquarters allows you to get to 7 engine rooms, please do so, because check out some of these nodes. We're going to get into the troop health. We're going to get up through critter launchers. That's not exciting. Into the Mega Scorcher. And this is the node right here. Like, what? Where did that come from? I told you all through this sneak peek things were going to get interesting, and all of a sudden they went from 0 to 11 and just absolutely broke off the knob. 5 doom cannons. Now, I wish you could kind of like take half of one and if I could get 1 sky shield and like 2.5 doom cannons, I'd probably do that. But instead, I'm going to go with the 5 doom cannons. Or these are damage amplifier 3s, by the way. So the defensive players are going to get 100% damage bonus. And if you put them side by side, that is going to be nutso. So laser trons for the finish, they're just too slow, I think. I don't think they're going to be an option, but it's kind of neat they're back there. But it's kind of like throwing Rainmakers back there. What the heck are you going to do with them? We are going to drop all of these side by each, throwing a Doom Cannon on top of it, and suddenly our Doom Cannon is doing, what is that? 6,400 damage per, hold on, that's whoa, it's 17,000 damage per shot. So just absolute bonkers. There's going to be some absolute ridiculous defensive bases with those damage amplifiers, possibly simply because of the fact they're damage amplifier 3s. We never get 3s. Those Doom Cannons that were back in there, I think were Doom Cannon 1s, but let's be honest, 5 Doom Cannons. I don't think there's a way where you don't get the 5 Doom Cannons, do you? Like, it's just so ridiculous. But then again, so is 2 Sky Shields. There's a lot of GBE in this tree. You see that GBE right there, plus those GBE nodes back there, and very, very interesting tree. I don't know where I'm going to go with this yet. I need to sit down and think about it. All I can do is bring it to you and say, Boom Beach, here is your Season 67 sneak peek. And to the developers, I tip my fedora. I don't actually... You guys are absolutely killing. I love the fact that you just throw random craziness in there. Like, I'm not going through tanks. I think tanks are boring, but that building health is super valuable. Because as you can see here, we don't have any building health based on my choices in the tree. There's probably choices that I could have made differently, such as here, there's some building health. No one's going to go GBE. That was just a joke. But very few building health questions here. So maybe all that GBE and artillery and barrage is going to be useful. I am very curious to see what comes of this. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know some of you are like, Zed, what do you got in them chests? Here's the details. You got 15 there, standard, then into 16. You know exactly what's coming. Into 18. You guessed it, into 20. Up to 20 dose. And then finally into 25. So that is your chest layout. And I should have the dates of when the heck this season is going to be happening. And here's the next weird thing. This season ends on November 17th. That, my friends, is odd. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that means we're going to have a giant update afterwards. All I know is that the 17th is a Sunday, and that's going to give a whole lot of time. So do let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's 2 crabs in November. This month in Boom is not out on the Boom Beach YouTube channel, so I don't have a frickin' clue what's going on here. But the fact is, the fact that the season, I just said fact about 7 times. We're going to go October 28th to November 17th, which leaves 13 days of non-Boom Beach in November. Odd and strange, but also kind of exciting just because of the fact that that's a long gap. What is going to go on in that gap? I shall talk to you soon, and I'm really hoping I'm not missing something obvious that's in that gap. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting me up with your questions. Most importantly, throw in some comments in the YouTubes. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.